And Ursula said, no way you're going back, way too dangerous. And I said, well, I cannot do anything, I cannot prove anything. I mean, what's the use of that? So she was still against it. She said, definitely not. And I said, well, I have to prove it. And now I have the opportunity to still go back. And after a long discussion, and she gave me all telephone numbers of the offices, of embassies, then I flew back to England. And I got back to St. Hill, and everything was fine. They didn't suspect anything. And after 2 days, I didn't unpack my bag, and I gathered all the information I could, all the documents I had, all the photos I had. And then suddenly I got called into security because my bag hadn't been unpacked, and I thought this was very, very strange. And I was petrified because I knew if I don't get out now, then I will never ever get out again. So what I did was I called Ursula, and she said, okay, she will call me back. And it took a bit of time, and while I was waiting for her, I called my dad to try one more time to see, because I was going to, for one last time, I was going to see if he would accept the fact that I don't want to be a SEAL member anymore. And he said, when you leave the SEAL, you're dead for me. Then I don't have a daughter anymore. And then I thought, well, that was the last chance I gave him, because if he had said, okay, that's fine, then I would have rooted out. I would have done the sec check and left. But because he said, if you leave the SEAL, then you're dead for me, I thought, well, fine. Then I may as well just go. And Ursula called back after about 20 minutes, half an hour maybe. And she said, is there any possible way that I can go to the nearest police station? And I thought about it, because the whole area, the whole estate is guarded with cameras. But there's one point behind the castle where there are no cameras, by the fountain where the taxis usually drive up and let out all the customers. So what I did was I ordered a taxi from HCO to behind the fountain, and I just got in. And the taxi just drove out the front gate and to the nearest police station, and they were waiting for me. And it took a while, and they looked after me really well, the English police. And they said, you know, there's a lot of strange things going on in St. Hill, and so many people are reported missing, and when we find these people, they don't want to have anything to do with St. Hill, and perfectly fine. And I said, yeah, a lot of things are going wrong there. And then one police officer took me to a certain point, and then we changed cars and changed police officers, so I got into another car with another policeman, and he drove me to the airport. And at the airport, all the police were waiting and standing at different points guarding me, and were there for my protection. And it had already been arranged with the German embassy, and the German embassy bought my ticket, and I was escorted by this policeman into the plane, and he spoke to the stewardesses and to stewards and to the captain and said that they have to take care of me. And then I flew to Hamburg, and on the way to Hamburg I thought that I was going to die, because I thought the plane was going to crash, because I had just committed a high crime. And I mean, it was terrible. It was really petrifying. And then I landed in Hamburg, and still alive. And Ursula was waiting for me. And she took me to friends of hers where I stayed for the first few weeks, which was really, really good. They were like they had like adopted me as their daughter, so it helped a lot.
So what type of documents did you take out with you?
My statistics, stuff like that, all my commendations I took with, because now that's very useful, because now when they say, oh, we were going to fire her anyway, that's what they told the press here, and I'm like, well, this says something else, and I have here signatures from very high officers, so what are you saying? So I would, and they had to admit, because the timetables that we were working like Lily, everyone under 16, it's illegal if you're under 16 to work after 7 in the evening, and it's illegal to work more than 2 hours a day. And they had to admit everything, and they admitted everything. I lost my father because of Scientology, because he doesn't want to know me anymore, which means that I lost my family as well, my sister. I had to change my telephone number 7 times because I kept getting death threats, really sick phone calls. I changed my mobile number 3 times. The police gave me, they didn't register me anywhere, not even in my passport, which is a legal document where you actually have to have your address in, stuff like that. It's not in there. I was given a secret number which was given to me from the police, which is not just a normal one, you know, where you say you don't want to be in the phone book. It was a special number from what is the equivalent here, it's in the US, which is here, well, they call it BKA, which is like the FBI. And that number they got as well. I don't know, letters in my letterbox, which were not stamped, which were not sent with the post. They were dropped off with death threats saying, you know, you must be careful you don't have an accident. Friends of mine being, who are pulled aside and people try and get information out of them. People, you know, threaten them. And just basically telling the whole world what a liar I am because I lied about my dad being in hospital. You know, saying that, you know, that I'm a thief. Telling people that I'm crazy, that I'm not sane. Which really hurt me and made me very angry at the beginning. But now, I mean...
How long has it been since you've been up?
Almost 4 years now. And the first year I didn't really think about Scientology a lot, and in the past 3 years I've had to deal with a lot. Had a lot of problems with myself, very guilty conscience, low self-esteem. I need a lot of well, I need to hear from people that I'm okay, that I'm a good person, or that I do things well. Because since I've lost my dad, and since, you know, I've lost, you know, his, you know, well, acceptance, I seem to have lost the ability to just say to myself, you know, okay, you're fine, you know. So that's pretty tough. I have a lot of new friends, but I seem to have the problem that no matter how many friends I have, and no matter how many people tell me that I'm a good person or that I'm not bad, as long as I don't believe it myself, it doesn't work. And because of what I went through, and because of the thing that you can't trust people, and you're so skeptical, and you make yourself very lonely. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if after all I've done, I really deserve to be happy. Somehow I seem to think that when I'm unhappy, which I am most of the time, that it has to be like that because of what I've done. And I'm very scared of my dad dying one day. And dying the way the situation is now. Because I lost my mother when I was very young. And I'm so sorry about what I did in Scientology and how many lives I ruined, even though I knew it was wrong. Which is why I try to do this press work to make up for what I did.
You're helping a lot of people. And thank you.
Okay.